Resident Evil. It's one of the most influential horror game franchises of all time. It gave us zombies, mutant dogs, and exactly 0 normal architectural choices, like why does the police station have a secret art gallery? And why do I need a gemstone to open up a break room? Who designed this place? Willy Wonka?
Come with me, and you'll be
in a world of global saturation.
Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination.
But I love it. I grew up with it and still replay the classics. Leon S. Kennedy is my favorite comfort himbo. The series basically raised me and probably gave me a fear of hallways and doors. So naturally, I thought, what if I watch all of the live-action Resident Evil movies? You know, for fun. Yeah, that was a terrible idea. It was like watching someone make a Resident Evil adaptation after reading one sentence of the Wikipedia page blindfolded and high. On Rotten Tomatoes, the movies have some interesting scores. Resident Evil, 36%, Apocalypse, 24%, Extinction, 21%, Afterlife, 28%, Retribution, 28%, which isn't amazing, but at least they're consistent. Like, you have to respect the franchise that never once pretended it was chasing Oscars. So let's get into it. We start with Resident Evil in 2002, directed by Paul Anderson. Rotten Tomatoes scores at 36%. The first 5 minutes don't even feel like a zombie movie. It honestly feels like one of those early 2000s spy flicks, like Agent Cody Banks, with the kid from Malcolm in the Middle. All that's missing is Frankie Muniz sneaking around in a leather jacket while Hilary Duff is hacking a computer in the background, which honestly might have been a better movie. And this is where you realize these movies aren't really about Resident Evil, they're about Alice, because the very first shot we get of her is half naked, confused, and lying in a shower, which honestly is how I felt after watching all 6 movies. The classic horror trope of mysterious amnesia and tasteful side boob. And the general consensus is that these movies are less of a video game adaptation and more of a really expensive love letter to Milla Jovovich. Forget the movies, forget Umbrella. The real franchise consistency is Paul Anderson making 6 movies as foreplay. Oh, and Alice has amnesia, because of course she does. Turns out Umbrella released some fancy nerve gas that wipes her memory, which is just extremely convenient. Like, she completely forgets who she is until the exact moment the plot needs her to remember she's a kung fu super soldier. And when she starts regaining her memories, it honestly looks like a That's So Raven vision. She just stares dramatically into the distance and then suddenly remembers a corporate conspiracy. All that's missing is Raven Simone turning to the camera and saying, "Yup, that's me." Also, random detail, but Alice is left-handed, which just feels wrong to me as a right-handed person. Imagine surviving the zombie apocalypse and the one person saving humanity is doing it backwards. And here's the thing, this movie came out in 2002, when Resident Evil was already having a consistent franchise. Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, and Code Veronica were out, and the GameCube remake was literally releasing a month later. Tonally, the games were still pure survivor horror, which didn't match this movie at all. So fans were expecting creepy zombies and claustrophobic dread, and instead we get Milla sprinting through an underground raid maze. The first real zombie comes in relatively soon, and it doesn't feel scary, it just feels like one of those internet chainmail jump scares. Forward this to 10 friends or the lady in the water tank wakes up in your bathroom tonight. But the most iconic scene in the whole movie that everyone talks about is the laser hallway. And yeah, it's terrifying, sure. It slices up people cleaner than a deli counter. Somewhere, a Subway employee is taking notes. Personally, I call it the most expensive way to make human sashimi. And here's the wildest part, this movie didn't even feel like Resident Evil until 42 minutes in, which is pretty fucking insane. They hadn't slapped the Umbrella logo on every wall and coffee mug. I wouldn't have even known what franchise this even was until the zombies really swarmed in and that PS2 cutscene looking liquor finally showed up. The final showdown happens on the train, the liquor gets knocked under the tracks, and instead of being crushed like a normal monster, it suddenly catches fire and falls off in flames. It's like the movie couldn't decide if it wanted physics or fireworks, and it just said both. Honestly, it feels less like a boss fight and more like a rejected stunt from Universal Studios. And then, right before the credits roll, Umbrella scientists are hovering over Matt, who just got infected, and one of them mutters, "I'd like him in the Nemesis program," which is basically science speak for, yeah, let's turn this poor bastard into a BDSM action figure for the next movie. Stars. Resident Evil 2002 was campy as hell.
See how easy that was?
Barely made any sense, and honestly just felt like a video game adaptation made by somebody who skimmed the back of the box. But it wasn't terrible. It was a funny 2000s movie. I liked it. But if this is the good one for the rest of the series, then I know that we're gonna be in trouble for later. So yeah, Resident Evil in 2002, honestly, it's dumb, it's campy, and it barely feels like a Resident Evil movie. Somehow, I still had fun watching it. And the worst part is that this is the best one, and it only gets wilder from here. Next up is Resident Evil Apocalypse, aka the one where Jill Valentine shows up, looks amazing, and then immediately gets nerfed because Alice is legally required to be cooler than everyone else. Anyway, if you liked this, you can subscribe, or don't. But then you'll miss me slowly melting down across all 6 movies, which honestly might be the most entertaining part. Also, I actually stream Resident Evil on Twitch, you know, the actual series where there isn't a naked amnesia shower scene, so you can check me out on there if you want more of this chaos, but live. Oh yeah, and I also dropped a collab with Uwu Market. It's cute, it supports the channel, and unlike these movies, it won't make you question your life choices. Links are down below. 1 movie down, 5 disasters to go. See you in the next one.